Welcome everybody. Welcome back to this little series and to day 7. And the prompt for today is geometry. And I've decided to play with the Fibonacci sequence, which is the beautiful spiral pattern that you can see in many of the plants that we have. Ferns in particular do a beautiful Fibonacci spiral, or the Fibonacci sequence, I think it's called. And it's also often called the golden ratio. And so you saw at the beginning there, I've got my golden gesso by Daniel Smith, some of the spray inks, the gold, the green and the pink that I absolutely loved from the exercise we did with the prompt garden. And I've got some watercolor paper here, which I'm just pre-wetting up, and I'm going to saturate that with some inks and let that dry. And we're going to use a technique which, if you've got some carbon paper lying around in your house, carbon paper is the stuff that typists used to use in between their pieces of paper to allow copies to be made. So if you've got some carbon paper, you can dig that out and use that. But I'm going to show you a technique using lead pencil that you can do to copy printed pictures onto paper. And once again, this is how I'm choosing to depict the prompt of geometry. You know, you do you. Have a look and see what you think. You know, that a pebble in its own right is obviously a geometric shape. But I just fancied doing something today and perhaps trying to be a little bit clever with the idea of the golden ratio and the spiral shape. So you can see here that I've sprayed my inks onto the paper, and I'm just playing with getting it right. And I don't mean getting it perfect, by the way. I mean moving some of those dirtier marks, adding a little bit more green. I quite like when I've used inks, not so much with watercolor, but with inks, to be able to pat them on some other watercolor paper. It allows the colors to smoosh together really nicely. So yeah, that's today. We're going to play with the golden ratio and the Fibonacci spiral. You're going to see how I do that. Hello to anybody that's just finding me. My name's Jolene. I haven't even introduced myself yet. I'm Jolene, and I'm a psychotherapist and mixed media artist in the UK, and I have a profound belief that creativity is the best thing to do for our bodies, our soul, and our minds. So here is the back of the printed out picture of the Fibonacci sequence, the spiral. I've just printed it out, and I'm going to be using the flat of my pencil, so literally tipping that pencil until you can see the flat of the lead, and just using that to scrape, rub, put lead to paper, scribble all over and get it really thick. You need quite a lot of lead. This method was taught to me by my son. They did it at school once, and I think it's a brilliant way to get a copy down onto a piece of paper. Of course, we can all draw a spiral, but because we're doing geometry, I wanted it to be right. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to put some pencil marks on the bottom just to show you guys that when you lift it up, I know it's quite pale on this camera, but those pencil marks come through the paper just by pressing down on the top. So a bit more lead, and then I'm going to get my dried inky splotty bits of paper, and I will start the process of copying out the Fibonacci sequence onto these painted papers. And it's going to happen in 3 steps. So the first step is to quite literally get that image down by using this technique, which is marking through that paper, and you'll see the pencil marks that come out underneath. They're not very dark, they don't show up really well on camera, but I can see them. And then once that's done, I will go over the whole thing with a black fine line pen. And then when that's done, I will get my gesso out, my gold gesso. I will add a little bit of water to it so it's just a bit more fluid. And I will go over half of the lines with gold. I wanted to leave some of the finer black lines underneath. You'll see at the end when it's finished. And then finally at the end, I cut out the pebble shape, and I kind of was left thinking, oh, it's a bit floaty. I wanted something around the edge. I thought about putting charcoal around the edge. It just felt like it would darken it too much. And so I had a little tiny weeny piece of gold oil pastel, and I just used that round the edge. It just finished it off beautifully, stuck it in my book, and that's day 7. So I wonder what you're going to get up to. Please do head over to the Facebook page and share your pictures. Please do grab a hold of whatever biro you've got to the side of you, point it at your computer and help it click the like button. Please do follow the YouTube page, and I'll see you tomorrow.